An emotional battle scene where Osman Ghazi fights side by side with his loyal Alps. Blood, dust, and rain mixes. Osman protects his wounded brother and rallies his men to victory. A slow-motion close-up of Osman Ghazi walking alone through a ruined battlefield filled with fallen warriors. His face is scarred, but fearless. Osman grips his curved sword, the sound of thunder echoes, and lightning strikes as he charges forward like a lion against the storm. Inside a dark medieval fortress, Osman Ghazi commands his men during a brutal siege. Flaming arrows light up the night sky, smoke and dust swirl as massive wooden gates are rammed open. Osman rides his white horse through the chaos, his armor glistening, his sword slashing through enemies while explosions of fire illuminate the walls.
A cinematic wide-angle shot of Osman Ghazi leading his warriors through a foggy valley at dawn. The sun rises behind the mountains, its golden rays piercing the mist. Horses charge through mud, swords gleam, and banners with the crescent moon ripple in the wind. The camera sweeps low across the battlefield as Osman raises his sword, shouting Allahu Akbar.
The scene begins quietly in a tent, candlelight flickering on Osman's determined face. Suddenly, betrayal strikes. Osman draws his sword in one swift motion, blocking an assassin's blade. The fight erupts, with blades flashing in the firelight, until Osman stands victorious, his enemy defeated. A wide cinematic landscape opens, under the orange sky of dawn. The air is thick with the smell of smoke and dust. Osman Ghazi rides at the front of his army, his black armor gleaming, his white turban fluttering in the wind. Behind him, his loyal warriors chant the name of Allah as war drums echo like thunder. The camera moves low across the battlefield, burned catapults, shattered shields, and fallen enemies scattered on the ground. The Mongol banners sway in the smoke-filled air. Osman stops his horse on a small hill, gazing down upon the fortress of Karakahisa, the stronghold of the enemy. Close up, Osman's eyes, calm, determined, unshaken. He whispers, "This land shall belong to justice, or I shall die upon it." He raises his sword to the sky. The camera circles him in slow motion as golden sunlight cuts through the clouds. His warriors shout Allahu Akbar and charge forward. Horses thunder, arrows rain. The sky fills with dust and flame. The Mongols clash with Osman's soldiers. Sparks fly, swords collide, and the sound of war fills the valley. Osman moves through the chaos like a lion, slashing enemies with fierce precision, his cloak covered in dust and blood. The camera alternates between close combat and wide aerial shots of the massive battle. Suddenly, the gates of the enemy fortress explode as Osman's men storm inside. Osman raises the crescent banner upon the highest tower. The flames burn behind him. Victory dawns upon the battlefield. Osman removes his helmet, looking toward the horizon, where his father's legacy. Epic orchestral with deep drums, Turkish flute, cinematic strings. At dusk, Osman confronts a traitor among his ranks. The scene begins quietly in a tent, candlelight flickering on Osman's determined face. Suddenly, betrayal strikes. Osman draws his sword in one swift motion, blocking an assassin's blade. The fight erupts, with blades flashing in the firelight, until Osman stands victorious, his enemy defeated.
A thick fog covers a dense forest. Osman Ghazi and a small group of Alps ride silently between trees when arrows suddenly rain down from above. Horses rear, men fall, and Osman leads a counterattack. The camera moves dynamically through trees, following him as he cuts through enemies with precision and fury. A massive battlefield under a stormy sky. Osman Ghazi stands on a hill overlooking thousands of warriors. Lightning flashes as he raises the Ottoman flag high. The drums beat, the wind roars, and the army charges with cries of faith and freedom. The scene ends with Osman standing victorious amid smoke and fire.